Hi, look at that look. Look at that makeup look. Look at the cheekbones. Look at the glow. Look at that glow. Tell me it's not good. Look at the lashes just from AliExpress. Then look at the blue eyeshadow. Isn't it just good? Now for this look, I'll show you how I came up with it in the next few clips. Kindly watch until the end to learn how to come up with such a look. Yeah, check out the brows. I'll tell you every product I've used in the process. Check out the nude pink lips. Yeah, and also check out the smile. Now we start. We start by underlining the eyebrows, just following the shape of the eye. I try to lift it in order to make sure my eyebrow arc is in the right place. Yeah, I'm using the Davis pencil to go about it. And then I'll also go to my upper side of the eyebrows. When I go to my upper side of the eyebrows, I'll just go according to how the eyebrow is shaped. As you can see, I'm just swiping the pencil according to where it is shaped. Then I'll try and raise the first part of the eyebrows hairs just by slightly applying lightly on the eyebrows. Now to darken the arc of the eye, correctly, then I'll go in with my Tarte concealer. I use it to shape out the eyebrow. I'll use just a regular brush from the stores. You can get it anywhere. If you know River Road, you can get this brush anywhere. But it's so good for shaping out the eyebrow shape. I'll just swipe it across where I have drawn to make sure that it is neat as possible. It's just a regular brush as I've shown you. Then I'll take in my Morphe brush. I'll use the Morphe brush to spread and blend out that concealer that I have used, and to also make it a bit neater, so it just doesn't stand there. It is well spread. I'll also do this according to the shape that I want it to look like. Then I'll go in with my LA Color Pro Concealer in Fawn, and I'll use the same Morphe brush that I had used below to also shape it out. I'll just continue pressing the concealer across the eye and shaping it to my desired shape using the concealer. Yeah, isn't it coming long? What do you think? Now I'll try and make it look like the other eye. So whatever I'm doing right now is to just make sure that it looks like a sister to the other eye, not a stepsister or a cousin. I go in to form an ombre with a bit of residue on that brush. I spread it across the pigment that I had applied. Then on the corners, I try to make it darker where the arc starts, as you can see. Then I'll try and clean it out even with my fingernail. I go back once again to just make sure that they really look alike. This eyebrow looks like the other eyebrow. As I said, I want them to look like sisters, not cousins. Now I'll go in with my Huda concealer and a brush from e.l.f. that I bought in a set. I'll just spread the concealer on top of the eyelid and the ugly face comes in. Who else does this? Comment below and just tell us what makes it happen. Is it just a natural instinct or what? I keep on spreading the white pigment across the eyelid from Huda Cosmetics. and I think I put too much. So I'll just buff it out or blend it out using my Juvia's Place brush. It came in a set, and that is one of the blending brushes in that set. Then I go in with my Ever Beauty palette. I'll use the yellow and the dark reddish color across my eyelid. I'll start off with the yellow, and the brush I'm using is also part of the Juvia's Place set. I first tap it on and then I spread it and blend it. I keep on tapping until I get my desired amount of pigment on that eyelid. This is a transition color. I make sure that it is not very heavy. Then I go in with my darker shade, which is the dark red that I showed in Ever Beauty. I'm using a different brush from the same palette, the Juvia's palette, to spread the other color. Then I go in with my Sahara palette, the purple shade, to just darken it where I'm going to cut the crease. I'm also using the same brush that I had used previously with the dark pink. I just need it to be a bit darker. Then I go with the same Huda Beauty concealer and my To Go To brush. I love this brush. I cut the crease, I mark out with dots first, and then I eventually shape it into what I like. You can just watch along as I continue doing that. I try and add a bit of pigment in there to make sure that it can be able to make exactly the look I want to come up with. Tell me how you do yours on the comments below, the easiest way of doing it. Then I go in with my Morphe brush and make sure that it is cut well and precisely. That C comes on very nicely. That is the cut crease C. You can explain to me below on how you come up with yours if it's easier than the process I'm using right now. If this is the easiest you've seen on YouTube, also comment below and tell me so that I can perfect it and continue marketing it and teaching people on how to go about it. I can even come up with a video on only doing the cut crease. Comment below if you want that to happen. Yeah, I continue shaping my cut crease. Then I realized that the pigment above the eye, the reddish dark one, has just been swallowed by the other colors that we've been doing. So I go in with a very thin brush and apply, and then I buff it out or blend it out so that it's spread nicely. It doesn't look like something that has just been put on top of there. I spread it across the shape where I had put the other colors. And then I go in with the blue shade from Sahara in Juvia's Palace. I start putting the blue pigment. It's a shimmery blue. I love this color. I didn't know it would look like this at the end of the video, but I really love it. I think I'm going to be using this palette even if it's becoming old. I'll continue using it. I think I'll need to restock it on my beauty items. I just try and make sure that it is exactly going to the crease as I have cut it. And as you can see, it has a very good payoff. Yeah, I continue spreading it across the lid. Then I go in with my K-Rite Shimmer Glow. It's a bit liquidy, so I didn't really like it for this look. Maybe on a different look it should look better, but for this look I didn't like it. It had too much water, so when it came to applying the lashes and putting on the glue, it was a bit hard to stick, so it really discouraged me from using it. But maybe for a different look it will be perfect, but for this one is a no. It would have been better if I used the powder shimmer for this color. to just line up the eyebrow. It would have really been better if I used the colored shimmer. Now I continue trying to spread it across, and now it's time for my eyebrows. My eyelashes, sorry. I apply some glue on the other eye that I've been waiting to dry since I started this look. And it's still sticky. It was a mistake also to go too fast and try to stick the lashes before it dried down, because it ended up messing the look. But it's okay. We move. I mean, what to do? Yeah, so it became a bit hard to stick the lash because of basically using that liquid shimmer glue. It's called Kerite or something. I wish it was a bit heavier and a bit more pigmented. Yeah, I continue trying to make sure that the lash is sitting well on that lid, and I have to keep on adjusting it. So it even affected the eventual look. It's time for the face, so I clean up my face, the residue from the eyelash colors, from the eyeshadow colors, the ones that are falling down. I make sure it's clean, and then I go in with my milk primer. I make sure first my face is clean before I use the milk primer. Yeah, I start by spreading it across my cheeks, on my nose, under the eye. I make sure that it is well absorbed. I push back my hair in order to get access to my forehead. I put on some over there. I continue spreading, mostly using my fingers, because if I use my hand, it will carry too much of it away. Then I go in with my Becca. That was mistake number 2 that I did. Number 3. That Becca primer couldn't mix well with the milk. If you've tried and found the same results, also comment below. It didn't work at all. I should have put something in the same consistency. And then I go in with my Fit Me foundation in 357, because it's not my shade, it's a bit darker. I'll also mix it with the 120 Fit Me. It's a bit light. So I mix it and then I spread it across my cheeks using a brush from Estee Lauder that I bought over 5 years ago in a set. Then I spread it across my face and my cheeks. I just make sure the pigment is everywhere, covering my face all over. As you can see, the dark spots on my face are no longer showing, which means that it has good coverage, and it's also very light. So it's a good foundation. I'd give it an 8. Yeah, an 8 is perfect for it. Yeah, I just apply it all over my face, including my forehead. After putting it across even my forehead, using the brush, I'll go in with a beauty blender. The beauty blender I'm using is an original beauty blender. It's damp. I don't use a dry beauty blender for spreading the foundation. As you can see, it's working well and perfectly. I make sure that it evenly spreads out the foundation on my face. And as you can notice, there are no dark spots showing. Do you see any dark spots after I put on the foundation? Any dark spots that you can figure out, you can see? You notice that I don't put anything under my under eye. It's because it's the place for highlighting, and if at all your face is normally teary, and the foundation normally breaks under the eye, you try and avoid putting as much as possible. You put as little product as possible in order to ensure that it doesn't break up after applying. So what I do, I totally avoid putting foundation on the under eye, and then once I'm done with my foundation, I start with the foundation on that under eye. Then I go in with my powder, so it minimizes the product. Today I'll be using the Tarte concealer for that under eye. I'm using it under my eye, on the upper cheekbones. It's the color is medium golden. the color for the Tarte concealer that I'm using. Yeah, I continue highlighting on my face, and you can see I'm also avoiding the inner side of the eye, because I actually have a very teary eye, which normally ends up spoiling the makeup that I put around my eye. So nowadays I try and put as little as possible of the product. Apart from the little product, I also try and avoid it as much as possible. Like if I have to put, I put it the last part, on the last part. And then I also let my highlight concealer to really hold on the face. I give it time to stick on the face to become tacky before I go in and blend it out. Now I'm going to contour. I'm using the 378 Fit Me foundation to contour. I'll start by using dots up and down on my cheekbones, on both sides, and then I'll make that face before I do that in order to come up with the correct shape and the correct placement. Then I'll contour my nose with some residue that is on the brush. I don't put a lot of product on the brush before I use it. Then when I see it's a bit light, I go in now with some product and shape my highlight and the nose correct it. Then I go in with just a regular brush, an old brush that is over 5 years old again, and spread that contour across my cheekbone, the dark contour. Yeah, I do this on both sides of the face, and make sure that my movement is upwards, not lower, so I can make it stick in place. Then I go in with my e.l.f. brush, this old e.l.f. brush. If you remember this brush Hala, kindly comment below and just tell me how old that might be, because it's not a new brush on the market right now. In fact, it's disappeared. And then I'm using it in a flat way on the nose, and then I go in now and start spreading my contour. To spread my highlight, to spread my highlight, I start with the outer parts, going inwards, also to avoid it spreading all over the face, to keep it in place basically, and come up with the desired shape for the face. I do it under my eye, then I go on my mouth, and then on my chin. Once it's spread fully, as you can see, I let it rest there, and you can see my face is even taking shape better than before after the highlights and the contour. I mean, if you can't notice that it's made a difference, you tell me, but for me, I think it makes a big difference. Yeah, I continue making sure that all the product has gotten into the skin, and then I cover out my cheekbone using the remaining amount on the blender. I continue with the other eye and make sure the parts that should be highlighted are highlighted. I squeeze my blender and spread the one across my nose in a way that it doesn't spread all over. Yeah, I continue just blending. I make sure that everything is in place. It doesn't just spread all over. Yeah, I go in with my Fit Me setting powder. It's in maybelline. It's in 125. It's called a finishing setting powder. Yeah, I spread it under the eye where I've highlighted on both of the eyes. Wherever the light is falling is where I'm highlighting. I'll highlight my nose also. I'll make sure it's well spread. As I apply it, I also blend it across the cheek, across the mouth where I put highlight, across the nose, on my laugh lines, and I also use it, a bit of it, to sculpt across the chin. You can see on my nose, under my jaws, over my jaws. Then I go in with my Huda Beauty eyeliner pencil. I draw on the under eye, on both of the eyes. It's a very nice pigment, gliding and smooth pencil for putting on the tear duct line. Yeah, I think. And then I go in with my Juvias Sahara palette, the same blue that I put on top of the eyelid. I'm putting it under the eye, and it really comes out with a beautiful look. You can comment also and tell me if it doesn't. Then now my shimmer has dried down, so I go in with my, because that one I've given it enough time, I go in with my Kiss Beauty glue and just put it across. Then I start using a small fan to dry it before I apply the eye. Before I apply my eye, my eyelashes, they are from AliExpress. These lashes, I bought a lot of them last year when I've been just using them. This particular lash, I've used it over 10 times. I actually clean it, I just clean it, I make sure I remove the dirt and use it again, because I love the shape. The only problem with this look right now is because I use it badly. I'm using my airspun powder, the one that looks pinkish in color, to just make that face matte. Wherever I've highlighted, I'm putting a bit of it, because I want a matte face for this look. I put it on my forehead, on my nose, where I had placed the previous highlight. I put it too. I let it set for a few minutes. Meanwhile, I spread it also. I just don't let it sit there. I spread it on my face also, so that it can get in the foundation. Yeah, I'm just showing you that it's the airspun there. And then I go in with the same Juvias palette that I had started using, the Sahara palette. I take the lighter brown and spread it on my nose to be used as contour. I realize you can use a lot of palettes to get contour, to get a highlight, the shiny highlight, and to contour the parts of the face also. And now I'm taking the darker shade, the chocolate one, because I need to shape out that particular part of the nose to bring up the contour for the nose. Then I spread it across the nose with a very tiny brush that doesn't have a name, because it's just a regular street brush. I think I bought it also from AliExpress. Then I go in on my cheekbones. I take the same brown color that I have been using in Eva Beauty palette and spread it as contour across my cheeks. Yeah. After I spread it across my cheeks, I think I'm going to go in now with the blush. But first I make sure that it is at least well blended. Over my nose, I'm blending it using the same brush that I had used to blend the foundation, that I had used as contour, until I get my desired shape. And then I go in with the reverse contour thin method. I try and make sure that it is well cut out, so that it also doesn't look weird. Kudos to the person who came out with the reverse contour thing, because it really helps to make this process easier. Before I learned this method, it used to be very hard to contour my nose. Nowadays it's so easy. Comment if it also has affected you in any way, the reverse contour thing. Now I go in with a color that is almost the same as my face, to remove the rest of the powder that I've put all over my face. It's in 355, and it's the same Maybelline powder. I use it to just remove all the excess powders on my face, because we need to end this video, it's becoming too long. I just remove all the extra powders that are on my face, on my nose, on my cheekbones, under my eyes, even on my across my cheekbones. And then I go in to put blush. The blush I'm using is just on the eyeshadow palette still, on the Juvias eyeshadow palette. I'm using the purple shade. As you can see, it worked perfectly well. If it didn't, just comment on what I would have used better, or maybe different colors that I would have used to come up with this look in a better way. But I think it worked well. I mean, by the end of the video, you can see. I go in with my Jeffree x Morphe spray. It's called Jeffree x Morphe Mist. It's actually one of the best things that ever happened. It sets that makeup so well. Before I go in with it, I make sure that I have got rid of all the powders on the face. Using that brush, that's just a regular brush also, that is found anywhere on the market. I bought it also a long time ago. Then I go in with the mist now across my face. I make sure that it is well covering the face. Then I go in with my small hand fan. I make sure that the face is dry using that fan and it stays in place. I shut my eyes because sometimes my eyes are teary. If I open them when I'm trying to put down all the product on my face, they start crying again. When they tear up, they can easily break the makeup. Yeah, I think I'm done. What do you think? Oh, all I need is highlight at this point. No, I'm not doing the golden one. I get a silvery shimmer now. Yeah, I try and I go in and highlight my Cupid's bow using a small brush from Giuseppe palette. Giuseppe is on AliExpress also. I bought them from AliExpress. It was around $7 including shipping to Kenya. Yeah, same Giuseppe palette. I go in with that brush for my highlight on the nose. I use it to apply that highlight. Same, also using my finger. I know some might think that this highlight is too much, but I like to glow. I like my makeup to glow. I mean, all this work and not to glow. I'd rather glow. Yeah, the cheeks are being highlighted very nicely. The brush that I used in this case is it's just a regular brush also from the street that I use for that particular function. The palette that I'm using is the Lady Flora palette that I just got at the highlight from. It has so many colors. It has 88 colors. Then I line my lips into shape. And I don't overline because I already have very plump lips. So I don't think I need to overline. I just put according to the way the lips are shaped. Yeah. And then I spread it. I just make sure that the liner is in place. Oops. There. It's now okay. I continue shaping the nose contour. And put my lips together to spread the eyebrow pencil that I've applied. Then I go in with my nude lipstick. It's a matte lipstick, but it's a street version. It's not the original lipstick for that person, so I'm not going to mention it because you might get the wrong one. These things are changed every day, but it's working for me and it's working wonderfully. If you think so, give me a thumbs up, like my video, subscribe to this channel, and come back for more. Yeah, then I go in with some colorless palette. Then I continue blending the highlight, the foundation. I just make sure that everything on my face is blended before I finish up the video. I make sure that everything is blended and in place the way it's supposed to be, using a clean brush with no product on it. How do you think the look come out? Any opinions on the look? Any comments? What should I have done better? The lashes, I know they have a problem. The eyelashes, I know they have a problem. So don't comment on it, like I've already even discussed it in the video. It is because of the, as I told you, the Kerite shimmers that I used. Now I go in and the part of the eyebrow pigment that has been the part that was rubbed out because of using the other products, I try and put it back so that it's exactly as I intended it to be. As usual, I'm using my Davis pencil in number 18, still on that same. Yeah, I brush it into place to bring back the ombre and to reduce the fullness on the beginning of the eye. And I also shape it with my fingers, and voila, there, my look is done. There it is on my snap. I love how it's looking. Comment if you love it, follow and subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe and like. Thank you.